Nutmegged Guardiola. Coach or player today, pal. You know, and I'm like, go from League One to Championship to the Premier League. We were close, no doubt. It's amazing, really, because I didn't play many games. I loved it. Season 1, we had to learn the line. We're going to sing Bohemian Rhapsody. Galileo, Brought into the area. I lived up here. Brought in with the fans, and I used to have that rapport with them. I like coming back here.
Hello and welcome to Leicester's The Place, and this time round, sadly, or depending on how you look upon it, Gerald Taggart is not with us today. We have a bit of youth and glamour in the presence of Daniel Bates, who some of you will know from his presenting work throughout the years of late. We also have a bit of glamour, a bit of class and quality in the presence of a certain Chris Powell, who had a long and sometimes illustrious career, but certainly eventful and varied. So I hope you're going to enjoy it. I am, because we're ex-teammates, and I'm looking forward to catching up with him. So, that went quite well, that introduction, didn't it? What do you reckon?
Brilliant intro. Going for my job, Matt.
Yeah, you think? Anyway, Powley, good to see you, mate.
Yeah, and you?
Okay, you've met Dan
you,
already.
Yeah.
Top man.
We'll get straight into it.
Yeah.
Because I love talking about it, and people find it interesting. That me and you used to play together back in the youth days, didn't we?
We certainly did, way back in the 80s.
Yeah, it was that long ago, wasn't it?
Teenagers, Epsom and Ewell.
Epsom and Ewell, Epsom and Ewell.
Yeah, what a time that was. But when you think about that, and then sort of our journeys as players, that obviously it's great that we're still in contact, and I see you at Leicester.
We bump into each other, don't we, every now and then?
So it's
but
really
the
good.
funny thing I remember, you might correct me.
Yeah.
You were playing for England, weren't you, at that age?
No.
Were you not?
No.
Oh, see, I always tell people that you were playing for England at that stage.
No.
Were you at Palace?
I was.
That's what it was. You were at Crystal Palace, playing for Crystal Palace on a Saturday, and we had a Sunday team.
Yeah.
And he'd be playing a year above his age for Crystal Palace under 18s. Come to our Sunday team, he was on the bench.
Yeah.
Couldn't get in, could you?
Yeah, it was a bit bizarre.
Remember Gary Newcombe?
I do,
Left back.
His dad, Alex.
Alex,
Yeah,
that was it,
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, Gary kept you out of the team when we were all sniggering away. Because you were only one who that time was at a pro club. Yeah. And my dad used to say to me, these overnight sensations sometimes take a little bit longer than you think. Because it took me a while to get to the Premier League, whereas you was that step ahead of me.
Yeah, well, Leicester, I guess we might as well start with Leicester since we're here. How did that come about? Obviously, at that stage of your career as well.
Yeah, what was I? 37, 38. Left Charlton again for the third time, and I was going to retire, but I kept fit, and I went to Bournemouth. Bournemouth wanted to sign me. Bournemouth were then in what is League Two. Then wanted to sign me. Kevin Bond, Eddie Howe was reserve coach, and I spent a week with them. So it was good that I was fit, but they couldn't afford it at that time, believe it or not. Where they are now. So when I left there, season started, and I really thought, this is it now. But I think Joe Mattock got injured for Leicester. Bruno Berner was here, but wasn't fit, wasn't ready, and they felt they needed a left back. I think they played Tunchev.
It might have been did Joe Mattock maybe leave that summer, I think, to West Brom.
Joe was still here, and I came. Eventually, he went West Brom, but he was still here. And they played, I think it was Tunchev at left back for a game. And I think Nigel thought, no, we need a left back. And I got a phone call from Steve Walsh saying, oh, what are you doing? I'm like, well, I'm not doing anything.
Yeah.
Do you want to come up?
You're thinking in your head that you're retiring, but you're just ticking over.
Yeah, because I think you still want to play.
Yeah.
Depends on what level. And Bournemouth, I thought, well, it's not a bad club, nice place to live, whatever. But, it was League Two, and I was thinking, I've just left a Championship club. But I got a call, come up, we just want to see how you are. Basically, it was, how are your legs?
Yeah.
You're 38, can you still run? So I trained on the Monday, and then on the Tuesday they did a bleep test, and they don't normally do it. And I'm thinking, this is for me. Like, this is to see if he's going to drop out early. And I flew. Like, I could run.
Yeah.
Still then.
What did you get up to? Roughly.
14?
Yeah, that's decent.
13, 14. So
you used to get different types, though, didn't you? You had some people, like a little bit shorter than others or whatever, or longer time. But the genuine one, if you're doing the genuine one, you're 14.
You can run.
It's not bad.
So after that, Nigel said to me that Tuesday, and I was meant to train all week. He said, "Oh, want to sign you?" I was like, "Fine."
Yeah.
So I signed a short term. It was 6 months, but within sort of 3-4 months, they wanted to extend it to the end of the season. And what a season for me to join. Obviously, team got relegated. Nigel came in. Rest is history, really. We stormed League One, and it was a great season.
Yeah, what was that team like to play in?
I had some characters. Really good team. I mean, I could tell straight away we're going to be top 6, easy. But it's not easy because everyone's expecting you to win it. You're the big team in League One. Obviously, when teams come to the stadium, to your home stadium, they put everyone behind the ball. You've got to break them down. But Matty Fryatt was on fire. I mean, he was a top goal scorer. Lloyd Dyer, Bruno Berno, who I'm still friendly with now, Matt Oakley, Stevie Howard, Paul Dickoff. We had a good team. 2 sort of young centre-backs, Michael Morrison, Jack Hobbs. We had some good players. Mark Edworthy had been around, who I still speak to as well. We had some good players, really well managed by Nigel and the late great Craig Shakespeare and Walshy, and we just got on with it. Really got on with it, and wherever we went, we just felt we could win. And I knew my role. I knew I was sort of not the main left back, and I think Nigel saw that and saw something in me that actually, if it was Bruno or Joe playing, I'd still be supportive because I was at that age where, I was quite happy to get a game every now and then.
I'm quite happy not to play the odd game.
At times, yeah. At times, as it got on, we might touch on it because I retired here. My last season in the Championship, it took me 5-6 days to recover, and I kind of knew, which was good. Sometimes it's hard for players when they're not sure when they're going to retire. But actually, I had a whole season where I knew, end of the season, I'm retiring. That's it. So.
How was it under Nigel then? I mean, you've touched on it there. But we've spoken to numerous players, and they always love it under him. Yeah. He's always one of their main favourite managers.
Yeah. I mean, if I could go back to that time now, I would.
Yeah.
Out of all my time in my career, which I've had.
What is it about him then?
I think with Nigel, he understands players. He knows when it's time to work, when it's time not to work. Really good at handling situations, understanding the game, and even just like his planning in his week and how he did it with Shaky. Initially, when I was just a player before I became sort of player coach, I was like, this is brilliant. This is like an education, not only for me, but for these lads.
Yeah.
And you can tell a lot of the lads have stayed in coaching and managing. Bruno, Richie Wellens.
Well, from a technical point of view, Paddy, or just general management, man management?
That for sure.
Yeah.
He's a good coach.
Yeah.
Really good coach. Left a lot of it to Shaky.
Shaky did a lot of it, yeah.
But he would, especially sort of the game plans and sort of who we're going to play against, is very straightforward, which we all love. Very straightforward, but funny.
Yeah.
I think the misconception with Nigel sometimes is, he's really, really well versed, really intelligent guy.
Yeah.
We'll talk to you about the Civil War and talk to you about stuff, and I'm like, where'd you get that from? But that's sort of the way he sort of switched off from football. We talk about various things in life and history and
different facets to him.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden, blink of an eye, I'd be talking about football and talking about you and what you did or what you did wrong. And I think when I was talking about people think he's a bit gruff and a little bit. He loves the game, loves, adores the game, and he's been successful, you know. And I think that in itself, in the main, especially here at Leicester, successful.
Yeah.
You know? So, yeah, I love him, and I love him for two reasons. Obviously, for bringing me in and being part of, you know, that League One and Championship we got in the playoffs the following year, but actually keeping me on as a coach, because I said to him, look, I'm going to retire and move on, and he said, no, you stay here.
Yeah.
You stay here, lad. You know.
Do you think he saw that in you, that he knew you'd be a good coach? Then?
And that for me was the beginning of me sort of coaching and managing because of him, no doubt.
Well, he hadn't really thought about it before.
No.
You're just thinking
not at all.
Retirement. And
He just said, I saw you with like the younger players, the way you spoke to them, and the way you were supportive of them, and I want you to stay next season. And I was like, no. And then I realised at home, I thought, actually, he's saying this is the start of your next journey, your next career. But I'll give you a classic story of his management. There's quite a few, to be honest, but end of season, we were playing Crewe away, and I wasn't playing, and he said, oh, come with the staff. So what he used to do was the players used to have their dinner at 7. We'd go in, see the lads, and then at 7:30, 8 o'clock, we would have a meal booked in the restaurant. So before we got in the restaurant, we'd seen the lads.
couple of glasses of vino.
And he said, we'll have a beer. And, you know, I'm there with like half a beer, and he's like, what are you doing, lad? You know, get a pint. Okay, I'll get a pint. And then he said, right, we're going to sing Bohemian Rhapsody. So I'm like, what do you mean we're going to sing? He said, all going to sing it, all the staff, we're going to sing Bohemian Rhapsody. Now, everyone knows.
One by one.
Well,
Like,
everyone knows a part of it, don't they?
Yeah.
So he said, I'm going to start it off, and you just join in when you want. So can you imagine, like, I'm sitting there, I've been a player, and they're singing Bohemian Rhapsody in the hotel. So, like, I'm thinking, do I join in? And then, Galileo. We sung it. And it was just the camaraderie of the staff, and it was just a little insight for me of how he got people together, how, you know, how relaxed the staff were. Because obviously I've been a player, you have your dinner, you go to bed. Yeah. You might stay up, play cards or whatever, but you go to bed early.
It's funny that song as well, 'cause you've got to be quite expressive when you sing it, haven't you?
Of course, yeah, and that was part of the plan, you know. But then, without naming names, people are getting on the sort of chairs and
right into it, yeah.
And it was brilliant. And then the following season, I obviously became part of the staff. I was still registered as a player, but as I said earlier, it got a bit harder. Recovery was sort of Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. My legs sort of came back, and I kind of knew in my head that I wasn't going to carry on. But that season gave me a real insight into him, Craig, Walshy, on planning for the day, for the week, for games. And little did I know, that was my apprenticeship into becoming a coach manager. Because I'll tell you right now, when I eventually got my chance at Charlton, I used a lot of what Nigel did.
Yeah, no.
And we won promotion.
Very useful, yeah.
From League One.
Rather than learning on your own 2 feet, isn't it? And, I don't know, perhaps speaking to people, and you're actually there in the mix, isn't it? It's amazing, and I'm sure you'll probably agree with me, how little you know about the coaching side when you're a player.
Yeah.
Even I mean, I remember the first time I did a basic session, and even putting the cones down, that was a bit of an issue. I'm like, hang on, did these go there? And you think it was just run of the mill for the coaches.
Yeah.
But the planning that goes into the stuff is a lot more in depth than you realise.
Yeah.
That served you well.
It was a good insight for me. You know, it was a year's apprenticeship, an insight into how to deal with individuals. When do you speak to them? Is it before training? Is it after?
Yeah.
When do you name the team? What we're doing for the week? And I would sit there, and every now and then, to be fair, Nigel would just look at me and go, what do you think, Powley? And I'll be like shaking.
In the middle of a team meeting, he would do that, would he?
Staff meeting.
Staff meeting.
Yeah. He'd say, what do you think, Powley?
What, in terms of...
So he might say, for instance...
about the session or the game or...
Yeah, so he might say, how do you think Matt's doing? So he's all right. Because I still had the respect to the boys, so I would.
Yeah, but you'll
sort of know
get
the
that.
feeling.
You'll have that naturally, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
That.
But I think he was testing me. You know, am I listening? Am I looking? Am I watching? And every now and then he'd say, "Oh, you go and do that with Shaky." So he was really sort of, I suppose, honing my skills and giving me an insight in how it would be. You know, how you're dealing with issues. I mean, there's so many sort of issues that I thought, this is not going to be good. Need to just deal with it like that.
Yeah.
Just deal with it straight away.
Was it a strange dynamic still, the playing element as well as the coaching element? Because you almost had a foot in both camps.
Well, right at the start, I had, you can ask Macca, I had a player's kit, and I had a coach's kit,
Right.
and they were different colours, of course. So
You're half and half.
I'd come in and I'd say to him, my player today or a coach. And to be fair, I didn't feel comfortable, and he could see that, and he said, you know what, wear a coach's kit, wear a coach's kit. Because you still got the respect to the boys. So when you walk in, instead of, as you know, when a manager walks in, it goes quiet, you know, because no one wants to say anything that the manager, you know, out of turn. But they would carry on with me, and I'd say to the lads, look, if you don't want anything to go back, don't say it. If you do, you can tell me.
Yeah.
So I sort of became the conduit, really, between them until the following season, Nigel moved on, and then I had Paolo and then Sven, and obviously I retired, so I wore the coach's kit. But for a few weeks, you know what it's like, the lads were going, coach or player today, Paolo? You know, and I'm like, I'm not sure, I'm
good, isn't it?
training. Because sometimes they might have needed a left back or an extra body, so I would train.
Yeah.
And in the end, if they did, I would train in the coach's kit. But in the end, we just thought,
No, that would be all right. That would work.
and it did work, you know, and the boys were fine, and a bit of banter as always, but I knew that crossover was happening, and it was good.
Especially, I mean, the career you've had and all that, I'd have the respect for you in both aspects.
Yeah. So retired at 40. I wanted to get to 40.
40.
So I had my last game, believe it or not, against Leicester.
Was it?
Yeah.
Was it?
For Derby. Sorry, for Leicester against Derby, I should say.
Right, okay.
That was my very last game, in 2010.
Because that season was, obviously, you rode the crest of the wave of the promotion, didn't you?
Yeah.
Got to the playoffs. We all know then what happened at the end of that year. But was that, because that was, like you said, your apprenticeship, if you like, in coaching, you saw a winning team, but then you also saw the complete other side of that with what happened at Cardiff. So were they good learnings for you at the time?
Oh, most definitely, yeah. Because
And what was that night like as well?
Well, I've got to say to you, I mean, we had the momentum, as a lot of teams do. You know, you've seen teams go, Ipswich, Southampton, possibly Birmingham, go from League One to Championship to the Premier League. And we were close, no doubt. We lost against Cardiff on penalties. Everyone remembers it was Jan, but actually it wasn't Jan. It was Waggy, Martin Waghorn, who missed the vital penalty. And we were stunned. And we went in the dressing room, and I actually thought, I wonder what Nigel's going to say. And I remember it clear. How he dealt with the group that night, my respect went through the roof. Absolutely went through the roof. Because what words do you say? You know, what do you say? But he spoke. And it touched everyone. You know, he kind of just said, look, it's not the time now. You know, your efforts have been off the scale. And what's just happened now's not the time to really talk about it because we have to get over it, you know. So we actually had a week booked away, the staff.
Right.
Either pre-Wembley or not.
Yeah.
And we went, the staff. We went, and we had the best 3 nights of my life, I think.
Was it?
Yeah.
Just the staff.
At his...
He likes a social, nice.
Yeah, he does, which again, I took on board because it's vital.
Yeah.
You know, to have your staff with you. And we went to his in-laws pub in North or Bridport. And we had 3 nights of just... And it was just his way of saying thank you, but getting over the disappointment.
Yeah.
You know. and he dealt with the lads. We came in the next day. He spoke again.
And lads go away?
Not with us, no.
No, not with you.
We came in the next day because we had to address it, and he spoke again. And I just thought, you know what, this guy's gonna.
It sets you up for the next year, doesn't it?
Yeah. But he moved on. You know, he moved on that summer. But I stayed. I was the only one who stayed, and technically was in charge of the club for about a week in pre-season or before pre-season because there was no manager.
Right.
But Paolo came in and I stayed. But my coaching journey, if I spin it back a little bit, it involves Tags. Because when I was sort of playing...
Tags was in and around that.
He was
period.
21s.
Yeah.
And Biggs was doing the 18s. And those two guys actually embraced me and said, right, come with us, do some sessions or watch. And they were brilliant.
Is that when you learned what not to do?
Hey, he's not here, so I'm not saying anything. He was great, Tags. He was a good coach, you know.
Yeah.
He was a good coach, Tags. He really was. Looking back, he was a good coach, especially with defenders, of course. You naturally know your position, your area. But he was good. And Biggs, as we all know, had been here a long time, coached a long time, hard taskmaster.
Biggs.
But he, you know, he knew his game, he knew what he wanted, and produced players. You know, at the end of the day, he produced players as an academy coach.
Absolutely loves the game, doesn't he?
Yeah, you know, so...
He was there when I was playing.
Right,
I was playing.
Yeah.
And we used to, pre-season, we'd do a run. Did you ever do the canal run?
Oh, yeah.
Canal run in the morning with half the group. He'd get back, 10-minute break, just to recover, and he's off again with the second group.
I used to do it with him as staff.
He was at the front every time.
Oh, he could run.
Unbelievable. He was about 55 at the time, I think.
Brilliant. So I've had
50 maybe, yeah.
I had some really good coaches at vital times. Obviously Nigel and Shaky for sure, but you know, Tags, Biggs, and then later on Paolo and Sven and Derek Fazackley helped me before I moved on to manage Charlton.
Fair old mix, isn't it?
Yeah.
Fair old mix.
Yeah, but good. You know, you take bits and you understand. Like Sven, one of his sessions I've used all the way through.
Yeah.
All the way through. You know, it's such a simple session, but it's so relatable to the game.
Yeah.
Why not use it?
They're the best ones, I always thought. I mean, I'm, you know, far from a genius. Fine, Pally. You know, coaching was not my passion, shall we say, but
Sure.
I've touched on it. I've done it for a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's you get certain sessions, don't you? There that work, and it's interesting. Did you get qualifications? Did you? I was going to say, when you were coaching earlier on, did you have to get your pro license, etc., and all that?
So
Tags has got his FIFA Pro.
yeah. So I had my UEFA B from way back, from my playing days. But then it was when Nigel said, right, come on in, I want you to coach and be with I enrolled on my A licence, started it, then went to Charlton, and my first 6 months at Charlton, my first sort of half a season, I didn't have time to do my A.
Yeah.
And then brought in a brand new team, signed 16 new players, got rid of sort of 12, 13 players, got a new squad.
But that stage, did you have to have that requirement?
No, but you had to be
in
working
the process
towards,
of it, yeah.
So I actually won League One
Right.
with 101 points. I didn't have my A licence.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
so I lifted the trophy in euphoria. We went to Vegas, as you do. I came back, got Manager of the Year,
Yeah.
and then the next week I had to coach local Lewisham College kids at Charlton's training ground to pass my A licence.
And failed it.
No, I passed, yeah. So it was a bit surreal.
Yeah.
Actually, I'd done what we did that season was phenomenal. My first 4 years.
Did you not
as
do it
manager.
with, I suppose it's a bit bizarre to do it with like your Charlton first team manager. You ain't going to do it with the Charlton under 18s.
Well,
maybe,
everyone had finished.
Yeah.
So in those days, now you do.
Yeah.
Now you do, but in those days you
Bizarre, isn't it?
used the local kids. which actually was quite good for me because I didn't know them, so I could coach more. So it was actually, you know, if you were with 18,
more
if I knew
mistakes.
you, and I could coach. So I got my A licence, and then I just carried on and got my pro licence straight away. And since then, I've got further qualifications.
So do you have to have your pro licence now to be a manager?
You do, yes. Yes, you do. Definitely in the
Premier League.
But even Championship, you have to be working towards it or have it. You know, and rightly so.
When you worked under Sven, then obviously here at Leicester, you'd actually played under him, hadn't you? Did he give you your debut
England?
for
Yeah,
England,
he gave
didn't
me
he?
my cap. So there's another full circle moment.
So what was that like? Both dynamics really of playing under him and then coaching with him.
So I took the game with Mike Stell against Scunthorpe, and we won. And we were going. Sven was in the crowd.
Right.
I had a phone call from Top the night before saying good luck for the game, but the new manager will be there. And I said, who is it? He said, he said, I don't want to tell you.
You might know him.
Oh, it's Sven. I was like, oh, wow. So then I didn't meet him that day, but we met at Heathrow. And the first time I saw him, he was like, good to meet you again, you know, as Sven's like. And yeah, I mean, it was great to have him, Derek Fazackerley. You know, he's an icon of the game. Obviously, we've lost him now, but it was seen as a coup, really, to have Sven at Leicester
at the
time.
Big time.
And it was great. You know, again, more learning for me from him and from Faz. They embraced me. They were really good with me. And it came to a point where I thought, you know what, this might work for me. Because lost Nigel and Paolo was in for a short time, which was tough for everyone. But then Sven coming in, thought it was a real lift. But then I got my opportunity. I could have left Leicester to go to Newcastle with Alan Pardew. And Sven said, I don't think it's right for you. And actually, I think he was right, because I would have been dealing with Premier League players and I never really had the experience. So I turned that down. But then when Charlton came calling, out of respect, I said to Charlton, have you spoken to Leicester? They said yes. I said, I'd like to speak to Sven. He said, I don't want you to go, but actually it's a club everyone knows, you know, you're sort of synonymous with. Everyone knows you played for him a number of times.
As well.
Yeah, and he said, go and sort of, you know, go and fly. And for 6 months, I didn't fly. And I thought I was going to get sacked, to be honest. But as I said earlier, I sort of revamped the squad and took a lot of my learnings from them, definitely from Nigel, League One, how to deal with being a big club, a big target on your back in League One, and we flew. Going
back to your playing days then for England, did you think that ship had sailed? Because obviously it came quite late in your career. So how was...
Can I just jump in real quickly, Batesy? Sorry. Before the England, 667 games, 6 goals. A measly amount, Powley.
Right.
Even for a fullback.
Right.
Come on, excuse yourself.
Yeah. So they were league games. I think I played 750.
That's a hell of a lot of league games.
I played 750 games, including the cup.
Yeah.
With 7 goals.
7 goals.
So it's one every sort of 100 and odd games. Yeah. I think I need to say to people I've got quite a lot of assists.
Roberto Carlos, you weren't.
I most definitely weren't. Yeah. That is a regret, actually. I wish I scored more goals, because you're remembered for goals. You are. You're not remembered for assists. I've got loads of them. But I actually preferred getting assists. I did.
You got plenty of assists.
I got plenty of assists.
That's not down in the record book, mate.
No, I know, and that's the thing. If I got more goals, I just wasn't a goal scorer. I wasn't, you know, and I could quite safely say in front of goal, yeah, jigsaw. I heard them all the kind of. I just fell apart in front of goal. I did, but.
Right, exactly. We're not going to be too nice here all day. I just had to mention it, mate. But sorry, Batesy, you were saying about England.
Yeah, I thought that ship had sailed, most definitely. I think when you get in your 30s, you kind of start thinking, okay, when is it going to happen? I want to maximise as much as I can, but I know you know, unfortunately, you're going to stop playing. And with England, I was still playing regularly in the Prem for Charlton. New manager in Sven. He was watching everyone. And of course, he watched a lot of Charlton games. But I thought he was watching a couple of other players.
Yeah.
You know, centre-backs. And
who was there? Was Danny Murphy there? Then?
Matt Holland, maybe?
Danny Murphy was. Richard Rufus, centre-back.
Yeah, yeah.
So I thought, it's not me. And then the Friday morning, I was driving in, and there was a load of press at the entrance. And I drove straight through, and the press officer, Jeanette, I remember it clearly, she said, look, you know, don't speak to anyone. And I said, what's going on? She said, your name's in the press that you're going to be named in the squad today. I said, mate, surely not. So I went in, trained, and you'll know this story. You know this clearly. On a Friday, if the manager calls you in, you're getting dropped on a Friday. And of course, I've come in and
no, I never got called in.
yeah, assistant manager Mervyn Day said, "Curbs wants to see you." Oh, yeah, I'm not playing. Coventry away. I've gone up and he said, "Oh, sit down, Powley, the usual." I'm thinking, "Go on, just tell me." And he said, "I've got a fax here." It was fax in those days. I've got your name on it. It's from England. You're in the squad. Really? I said, it's got your name on it. So take it. And he shook my hand. He said, "That's it." I said, "Am I playing tomorrow?" He said, "Yeah, you're playing."
Yeah.
That was it.
Lovely.
So the lads knew when I went down. And
you get a little ripple, didn't you?
Ripple, and it was great. But then my phone, non-stop, and my phone number hasn't changed for years, so I had a lot of press, and I said, look, I can't really say much, but I'm really proud and honoured, and just to be in the squad, if I play or not, it's just a great feeling. I was nervous against Coventry because all of a sudden I'm thinking everyone's looking at me.
Yeah.
I've come from Charlton, I haven't come from the big six as such.
You're worried about getting injured?
A little bit, yeah, a little bit. But then, I reported. I was the first one there on the Monday. It was at Villa Park then, or it was around the country because Wembley was being. So I never played
the game
against Spain.
Right, and you played?
I played. Yeah, came off at half time. I had a slight calf injury, but played the first half. There's a famous picture, and a friend of mine gave it to me for my 50th.
I know where you're going with this.
I nutmegged Guardiola.
Yeah, I've heard that.
I didn't mean it, but I say to everyone I did.
Was it?
Because it's
just
great.
Heavy touch.
Well, he's looking back, and his feet are apart, and I'm running on, so it looks like. But he sort of went like that, and it went through his legs, and I ran round him and crossed it in. We won 3-0.
Lovely.
We were 1-0 at half time. He wanted me to carry on, but to be fair, he said, look, you've got a game weekend, don't risk it.
How was that? That's frustrating, isn't it?
Yeah, it was, because I wanted to carry on, and obviously all my family and wife and everyone was there. Manager was there, a few of my friends were there. So it was a great feeling. And I'm sure you had it with Scotland. The very first time I got my shirt or even my training kit, I thought, this is real. This is real now. It's not a replica. This is real. You know, everyone's got the replicas, and you support England or Scotland, whoever your national team is. But that was, I thought, it's the moment, you know. And I trained. I was
What age
a bit
were you
nervous. I was 31.
So I got it wrong. You were older than me.
Yeah.
I made an international debut before you.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you did it before, yeah.
Yeah, so it was
That is unusual.
a big moment, yeah. Big moment for Charlton.
Do you think maybe you could savour it more then? Whereas if you were 22 and
it's a good point. It's a good point because I did. When we started to train, I thought, you know what? I might not be here again. You know, I didn't want to be a one-cap wonder. I really didn't want to be a one-cap wonder.
No.
So I thought, you know what? Just go for it, and just show that you deserve to be there.
You probably have more belief, though, wouldn't you, than at 22.
Yeah.
You're looking around, you think, do I deserve to be here? But 31, you know, you've been through the leagues, haven't you?
Yeah, and it's a good point because when I became a coach with England, whenever young players came in, you could see, you know, without naming names, you could see they were thinking, "Ooh, with Harry Kane here and Jordan Henderson, and oh, I've got to perform."
Big names.
You know? And it's a big moment. But I actually embraced it and trained and did as well as I could. And then the morning of the game, they're handing out the bibs. I got a bib. And then I saw Beckham had a bib. I saw Michael Owen had a bib.
So you didn't know?
Didn't know, but I worked it out.
Yeah.
Because then I'm thinking, well, I think I'm playing here. And Teddy Sheringham ran past and went, "All the best." Like, carried on.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, I'm playing, you know. And
who else around then? Would it have been Cole? What, Bridge?
A few names there, isn't there?
So
a lot of
eventually
that
it was actually Cole and Wayne Bridge, which I'll get to. But yeah, I mean the team: Sol Campbell, Rio, Scholes,
Proper team.
Gary Neville, Michael Owen, Andy Cole. We were the starting team. It was.
How the hell did you get a game with them lot?
Well, there you go, mate, Sven. Because I think he felt at the time it's the best left back who's performing well. And I was playing okay. I didn't think I was doing anything different. You just do your job. But, you know, I suppose throughout my career I was quite consistent, you know, and got trusted by my managers. So I got further caps.
Yeah.
But then Ashley Cole, Wayne Bridge, I was sort of in the big squad for Korea, but those two were another level. And, you know, I'm quite happy to say that because, you know, Ashley especially, but Bridgie was a good player. He would have got more caps if Ashley wasn't there, for sure.
Shift, couldn't he?
He was. Both of them were top class, and I quite happily said, you know what, these guys are better than me. I've had my caps, I'm out. You know, so I got in 8 or 9 squads. I only got 5 caps, but I cherish them to this day.
I was going to say, you must still have shirts, caps, whatever you might.
Yeah. I've not given away caps or shirts. No way. I gave one shirt to Charlton, and that's framed, but I've got all the others, absolutely.
And then again, there's a lot of full circles, it feels like, in your career. Another full circle then was working with England at a World Cup, at a Euros, Gareth Southgate. What was that like? Agonisingly close in the Euros. Obviously, the World Cup, I think, had we beaten France, probably go on and win it, don't we, there at that point? And
you know what? It is a regret, especially the Euro final, because it was at Wembley, it was at home. It was virtually a home tournament. We only went abroad once to Rome against Ukraine. But for me, I was only meant to have a year with the guys. Obviously, because of COVID lockdown 2020, it went into 2021. Had a fantastic tournament. Obviously, the ending was heartbreaking for everyone. But just working with those guys and seeing the elite at their best, mindset of Harry Kane, the sort of development of Jude Bellingham and Saka, and Jack Grealish was the sort of the player everyone wanted to be in the team at the time. Calvin Phillips, a star player. I mean, I could go on. Seeing John Stones and Cole Walker up close and personal, brilliant. You know, brilliant for me. But more importantly, seeing these guys working in such a great environment that Gareth created. You know, whatever people think, I look back and go, the way he dealt with England, the sort of the development, evolvement of how England is seen at that time was brilliant. You know, it really was, because everyone felt part of England. You know, seeing Saka on the unicorn, I know, you know, in the pool, and seeing the way he sort of dealt with individuals and how players opened up. You know, people hadn't seen that before. So it was great for me seeing that, and it was, you know, it was a real disappointment. I thought my time had finished, but they asked me to stay on for the World Cup in Qatar, which again was a unique tournament, mid-season, no real friendlies. You go straight into the tournament in a country that people thought, how's it going to work? But it did. You know, it really did. And, you know, it was, again, watching Gareth, Steve Holland, the various staff, that Graham Jones, Alan Russell, Paul Nevin, guys that came in, and it was brilliant. I cherish that time. I really do.
Was it slightly surreal feeling for you?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously you've had management experience and been in the game for decades.
Yeah.
But at that stage, you probably didn't envisage being involved in that environment.
No.
And it came a little bit out of nowhere.
Yeah, it did.
It was great. I remember reading about it. I was like, go on, pal, look at that one. Where's that come from? But great that you're involved. Oh, son, it's another platform, isn't it?
Yeah, it was a bit left field, Matt, because I went for a job with the FA and got sort of down to the final 2 or 3. Didn't get the role.
Or on the sort of administrative side?
No, it was more the youth side.
Right.
One of the youth teams.
Coaching wise.
Yeah. Didn't get the role. And 2 weeks later, they called me and said, no, you haven't got the role. And they give you feedback and where you were strong, where you wasn't, all fine. But right at the end, they said, well, actually, we think there's another role for you that we think you might be better suited to. And I said, what's that? And they said, oh, it's the seniors.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
How'd you work that one out? Yeah.
They said, oh, we'd like you to come in again and speak to the technical director and Gareth. I thought, I've got to go back to St George's. And so I had a 2-hour sort of interview. And then Gareth walked in. But I knew Gareth from our youth days at Palace.
Palace, yeah.
I was a bit older. And they said, oh, we'd let you know. And I went home, and a few days later, they said, yeah, we'd like you to join the seniors. So
Lovely.
I was like, great, and only for a year, but I ended up staying 3 years. So, I embraced it. And like you said, Matt, my first game at Wembley, and you sing the national anthem with the staff, and the world's watching. It's not just, your local team or whoever you play for. Yeah, I mean, it was...
Crazy,
Yeah.
How
brilliant.
I say end the England bit on a negative, but how crushing was that France defeat? Because I do think that England would have won that tournament had they been.
Well, we would have played Morocco in the semis, so I mean they had the tournament of their lives, but I would have safely said we would have navigated that. I mean, Harry missed a penalty, which he never does. Played ever so well. Walker against Mbappe, dealt with him really well. We were strong. We were in a real good place. And it just didn't work for us, huge disappointment. The sort of negative of that is you just leave straight away. Like the next day we were going home.
Yeah.
You sort of pack your gear up and you're off because that's it. Why are you staying? Huge disappointment. I would always say, whenever you're in a tournament, especially as a player or staff member, you don't get the feeling of outside.
Okay.
Because you're at St George's you're at your hotel in Qatar, so you don't know the feeling. You ring home and the family saying, "Oh, the country's going mad," but you don't know until, for me, when the Euros last year, when I wasn't, part of the staff, that I was actually supporting England from afar. You recognise what's going on. It's nuts. So it's a shame that two finals and a quarter-final and a semi for Gareth. We never got over that hurdle, and I would have loved that, especially at home against Italy. But I can't turn the clock back, unfortunately. But hopefully, the World Cup in America, that they can, really sort of get to where we all want them to get to.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
So for your career then, obviously we know you've just been at Sheffield Wednesday, that's sort of finished. So at the moment you're doing lots of different things, including the media. You've maybe got an acting career as well still to fall back on.
I didn't know about this, by the way.
Gosh, yeah.
Hollywood's calling.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
I was speaking to someone just yesterday about Ted Lasso. Did not have a clue that you were on it.
Seriously?
I didn't know. I've never watched an episode. I'm going to now.
Yeah.
I'm going to now. But with Arlo White as well.
Yeah.
I know Arlo.
Big Leicester man.
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
How did that come about?
Again, another strange story. It always is. Again, just left... I was out in Holland. I was coaching out in Holland with Alan Pardew. But
I've worked with Pardew. He's quite a character.
Yeah, he certainly is. Yeah, good coach. was my manager. I played alongside him at Palace many moons ago. But we went out to Holland, but then lockdown and we had to get back. So I was in between jobs. Didn't have the England role then. And I had a phone call from an agent I dealt with when I was manager of Charlton Southend. And he said, I've got a script of an American managing the Premier League team. I'm like,
Yeah.
what, a TV show? I said, that's not going to work. No chance. And he said, look, they need someone to sort of help the directors with the coaching, with what it looks like and sort of behind the scenes. They just need someone who got a little bit of experience. So I said, look, I'll do it. I'll come down. And I watched the guys and I took them for a coaching session. They were okay. They're actors or support actors, many of them. And so I started to be...
Where's this at?
So it's filmed at Hayes and Yedding Football Club.
Right.
And across the road is the Warner Brothers
Hayes and Yedding.
Studios.
Les Ferdinand came from there, didn't he?
Yeah, and they've merged. He used to play for Hayes. It's in West London. So I was living down south at the time still. So I'd fly across and sort of say to them, this is what a possession session would look like, or crossing and finishing in the background, or if you want a small game, they might do a small possession and then a small-sided game, whatever. And it was fine. It was good. I was behind the camera, not getting involved too much. And then what happened was I did a Sky game. I think it was a Derby or Charlton game. And someone from the production team saw it. And the next time I came in, they said, I saw you talking about the game last night. Do you do that a lot? And I said, yeah, sometimes they ask me. I used to play for certain clubs, whatever. And they said, well,
I played, I managed, you know, I know what I'm on about.
And they said, we've got this role with a commentator, Arlo. Do you want to do it? I said, well, I'm not an actor. Although some people might say I've been an actor throughout the years, but, you know.
Got those film star looks. So.
And I said, yeah, I'll do it. And that was it. Literally, from that, they put me in front of the camera.
Yeah. You do like co-coms and stuff, were you?
So I'm sitting next to Arlo as the co-com.
Yeah.
And we would film a lot with no players. There would have sort of a lot of extras in the stand, but we do a lot where there's no one there, and they would just say the ball's here, the ball's there. Arlo's brilliant. I mean, he's top class.
Yeah, he's good, isn't he? He's got the voice as well, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has. Yeah, so we sort of dovetail. He gets most of the lines, of course, but I get a few lines.
Were they all scripted, your lines?
Mainly, but sometimes they'd say to me, if you want to ad lib, I would, and then the finished sort of show, I'd think, oh, they've kept it in.
Yeah.
You know, but mainly they would write it. Brendan, brilliant writer.
In one episode, I've never seen a minute of an episode, but I'm going to have a little look there. How often and how long would you be in?
Right, so I would only get scripts for my lines. So I wouldn't know what else is going on.
Yeah.
So I would get them, and in season 1, we had to learn the lines.
Right.
So sometimes when you mess up, especially early on, you're thinking you're letting everyone down. But season 2 and 3, we'd have auto cues behind the cameras.
Yeah.
But we'd try and learn a lot of the lines. But then if you didn't remember, you could just...
But you're in every episode, are you?
Not every episode. So season 1 is 10 episodes.
I don't want you to go through every episode for me.
No, we were in about 4 or 5 of each season.
Was it?
So yeah, it got really popular because it was lockdown, I think it was a feel-good.
Without being too nosy, did you get quite well rewarded with that? Hey? Hey, that means yes.
Yeah, no, it was fine. You know, I mean, they looked after us.
How popular it became. Did that grow? Did your reward grow?
They're quite clever.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm sure the main guys get sort of repeat.
Yeah.
Whatever. You just get a one-off.
Yeah.
Well, I did anyway.
Yeah. what is it? You know, in the music, they get your songs. Not
royalties.
Yeah, you get the royalties.
Right,
yeah, you get
royalties would have been nice.
Yeah, but no, they're clever because they know that if it gets really big.
Yeah.
Which it did.
It did, yeah.
Still, Apple TV's one of their most popular shows.
Yeah.
So we did season 1, got called back for season 2 and 3. I actually thought it was finished, but season 4 is coming back. I'm not sure exactly how it's going to work because he went home. He went back to America. But I'm led to believe that myself and Arlo might be in season 4. So
watch this
that'd
space.
be good.
Brilliant.
Yeah, that would be
Lovely.
good. Yeah. So
Lovely,
amazing.
Mate. Yeah, well done, isn't it? Yeah. Varied, isn't it?
Yeah, it's an amazing
Varied.
show, and doing that just came out of absolutely nothing, really.
Yeah. But your career's been quite varied, isn't it? You know, different clubs.
Yeah.
Different management roles and international, etc.
Well, one thing, Matt, is I've never been afraid of doing something else.
No.
You know, I know a lot of guys want to be managers.
A lot of people get pigeonholed into one thing, don't they?
I've never wanted to do that.
No.
I love the game, and actually, the game's brought me a lot of joy.
Yeah.
You know, and a lot of really good experiences. Some negative. You know, as a manager, you always know 99% of the time you're going to get sacked at some point. It's never nice, but you get over it. You have to. You have to move on. Your career, with your life. You know, it's never great.
Is so intense, isn't it? Especially these days.
Yeah, I mean,
do it over, I don't know, let's say 20, 30 years. It must be a strain, to be fair.
Strain not only on your
family,
sort of football life, but your personal life.
Yeah.
You know, and I've always said, will I manage again? I'm not sure. No. Because you actually feel better. I was coaching with a really good coach at Sheffield Wednesday, Danny Roll, who's got a good career in the game. I was an assistant. So actually, it hurt when we lost, but not as much as when you're the manager.
Yeah.
Because you have to deal with the media, with players, with agents, with the supporters, with a lot of negativity. And it's not easy. You have to have a thick skin, you know. But some people just want to keep doing it. It's their life, and that's no problem whatsoever. Because you have to have a manager, and someone has to do it. And I think eventually...
I wonder how managers of an older generation maintain their enthusiasm and their fire.
Yeah.
You've got it when you're younger, you've got points to prove. And I think it must for some of them, must just turn into a job a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But maybe they've got the passion for the game, haven't they?
I think you always have the passion. My passion will be there. It's what I love. It's what I've always done. I've left school. It's what I do. You know, whether it's media work, whether it's coaching, whether it's managing, whether it's, you know, speaking to kids at a college. You know, it's what I love. But you're right. I think you're so engrossed in it as a manager, sometimes you don't realise the damage you're doing to others or to yourself.
Yeah.
I always think if you lose your job, take a break. You know, people talk about your mental health, whatever. I'm not going down that road, but it is tough. You know, no doubt about it. It is tough.
It's a strain.
It's a real strain on you as an individual. And I think you do it, you find ways, make sure you delegate, make sure you, you know, embrace the workforce that you have. Because that helps you in the long run, it helps you, no doubt. You know, I can look back and go, there were moments where I should have maybe have let go of certain elements and let people, you know, do it. And other times I did it because I wanted to embrace the staff I had, but it's not an easy road. You know, and I always have full admiration for anyone who manages at any level, no doubt.
Sorry, Dan, jumping in again. Might be asking what you're going to ask. Two things we've got to mention.
Yeah.
Albeit briefly if you want. MBE and PFA.
Yeah. Which one first?
Which one do you want to go first? PFA.
PFA.
How do you become PFA chairman?
I was chairman for 5 years, 2005 to 2010.
Were you the PFA rep in your team?
I was,
as a player?
Yeah, eventually I was at Charlton.
I got that put on me.
Yeah. It normally goes to the senior sort of player that has got a bit of empathy with, you know, young and old and, you know.
Empathy, Matt.
mate.
Not so sure about that.
No, it was by default. No one else wanted it.
Okay.
Okay. No, that was at a time when, unfortunately, the club were in administration.
Right, yeah. Wow.
No one really sort of wanted to pipe up and deal with the PFA. So it landed on my shoulders, really.
I think it's a vital union, biggest union in the world. Not many other countries have it. You're a member for life. You're not just a member throughout your career. You're a member to the day you leave this planet. So they look after you, you know, throughout any issues.
What did you have to do as chairman? What was the actual role?
That was more leaning towards. I mean, it's more of a figurehead. To be honest, because you're still playing.
Yeah.
So you're not as in depth as.
Still playing at that time, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's always the chairman is always at that time a player who's still playing. So I came to Leicester in the minute.
Coaching, PFA.
Well, no, I wasn't coaching, so I was playing 05, but 2010 because I was retiring, then I retired from being the chairman.
Yeah.
But I had to speak on behalf of of the board, on behalf of the players a lot of the time. If there was any issues, they came to me, the media. So, you know, I was liaising with the CEO at the time and with the board. And I would hold meetings. No, it's not. So it's a real honour.
Yeah.
And, you know, for 5 years.
Well, it stands in good stead, doesn't it?
Well, it still does because, you know, the PFA Awards were the other night. And I was asked as sort of an ex-chairman to present an award. So you still feel part of them, you know, which is great. It's now moved on. Maheta is the CEO, and he's someone I met many years ago. He's now moved it on, you know, and I think you always evolve as a football club or as a organisation, and he's definitely done that. The awards event now is slightly different. And, you know, I had a good night, you know, which was really good to see a lot of people that I was part of. And, you know, I'm really proud that I've been a part of them. And they still, you know, want me to help them every now and then. But MBE.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, that.
Finished with a big crescendo.
Yeah, that was something. That was something, Matt.
How have you blagged that?
Yeah, I blagged it. I don't know.
Well, he's an actor, PFA chairman, coach, player.
Exactly.
Definitely wasn't services to acting, that's for certain. So, no, services to football, and I thought it was to charity, but it wasn't. But I'm a big, you know, supporter of prostate cancer. I did the marathon for them and
did
what have you. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, never again, though.
No.
No, I won't be doing that again. But got a letter in the post.
How long? How long did it take?
What?
Marathon time?
Oh. It was 5 hours.
5 hours?
I hit the wall bad.
Did you?
Yeah, it was the hottest one on record, 2019.
Was it?
33, 34 degrees.
See, if it takes you 5 hours, I'm not even thinking about it, mate.
No. I had to walk for 3 hours.
And you're a fit lad.
I was.
Yeah. Well,
I was. Yeah, it was a tough one. But
can't think of nothing worse.
yeah, never again. But coming back to the NBA, I got a letter last summer. It was last summer, last May. And I couldn't believe it.
Neither could I.
I couldn't believe it. Services to football, you have to keep quiet until it's, you know, publicly announced. So, I told my wife, told my kids, and as I told you earlier, I felt bad about not telling my mum.
Yeah.
I was going on a holiday and I knew they were going to announce it while I was abroad. So I told my mum, and I said, Mum, look, you can't say anything. It's going to be announced. Please don't say anything to your friends, whatever. They could revoke it if it comes out early. I get to Jamaica. I was away for 2 weeks with my wife. My phone comes on. It's my sister. You got an MBE? Like, how do you know? Yeah, Mum. But to be fair,
fast.
yeah, they kept quiet, and it's such a proud moment.
At the palace and that?
No, it was at Windsor Castle.
Right.
And you don't find out who's presenting until you get there.
Okay.
And when we were going through security, the police said, do you want to know who's in? And I've met the Queen. I met Prince Charles and I met William. So in my head, I wanted it to be Anne.
Right, okay.
But of course, like my kids and my wife are like, oh, the King or William, and it was Princess Anne. So I was buzzing. Yeah, I was happy because then I've met them all.
Yeah, yeah.
And she was brilliant actually because I've been told for all the events she's the one who's really vocal.
Yeah.
I met William with England and with Charlton. He's FA president. So I've met William and he loves his football. Aston Villa fan, I think. But yeah, it was a great moment when you go up and actually meet and you shake a hand and you bow. They obviously say in her ear, this is Chris Powell, it's football, he's been a manager. So I'm going up and she's going, so dealing with modern players, how do you find it? And I'm standing there thinking,
Did she?
you know about football? And she said, yeah. And
she's quite sport orientated though, isn't she?
She is, but when you imagine the amount of people they meet and speak to.
Powley, how you doing?
Yeah, how was Ted Lasso?
Yeah. So, yeah, great moment. And, you know, when you're presented with your medal and then the whole day was great. I actually missed, it was Carabao Cup night and Sheffield Wednesday were at Brentford. So when I told Danny, he said, you're going Windsor Castle. So that's not far from Brentford. It's not. It's like an hour away, hour and a half.
Miles, isn't it?
He said, oh, can you come after you get your medal?
Oh, cheers.
I said, Dad, look, it's like a big day. My wife and my kids and my mum will be going and I'll meet the extended family in the evening. And he said, oh, no, I get it. You know, I understand. So I missed that game. But, no, it was, it cost me a bomb. You know, new suit, new dress for the missus, lunch for us, and then I had dinner with the extended family and I paid for it. But you know what? Why not? It's such a special moment that
amazing.
You know, I've got it locked away at the moment because I'm not sure what to do.
Yeah. Because
people say display it, put the pictures up.
The MB, is it like a cross?
Yeah. And it's in sort of a case. A friend of mine who got one at Charlton for his services to charity and football, he's got his sort of framed and him meeting, I think his was William, and he said, you've got to do it, but I'm a little bit nervous, you know, but yeah, I'd like to show people, but equally, I don't want to lose that. I mean, that's such a special thing.
Who'd have thought it, eh?
I know. And here's another thing. You don't know who's nominated you unless they tell you.
About?
So people nominate you to the cabinet for what you've done in the game or what you've done for charity or what you've done in your chosen field. So I, to this moment, as I sit here, I
still don't know.
No.
All right.
Well, now's your time to tell him, Matt.
Matt, come on.
You certainly weren't me, mate. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, so, you know, whoever it is, and I've said this countless times, thank you. Whoever it is, I don't know.
That's weird, isn't it?
Yeah. They can tell you.
Yeah.
But they don't tell you. The government and the cabinet, they don't tell you. They just say, you know, we've had a number of people nominate you, and the cabinet feel you deserving of it.
He might have nominated.
No, he has nothing to do with it. No.
I guess just finally then, just final word on Leicester. Where do you rank? You know, your few years here in your career. You said already that you look back on it really fondly.
Yeah, it's amazing really because I didn't play many games. You know, not like Matt or Tag.
19 and no goals.
Yeah. I didn't play many games.
I've got it down here.
You know, but I knew you would. But I think it came at a really good time in my career towards the end. And people knew I sort of bought into the club. I was part of the success of League One, the momentum, sort of the rebirth of the club because obviously it wasn't great at that time. And Nigel and everyone looks back on that time with real fondness. And I think I just bought into the area. I lived up here at a small flat up here, and I loved it, and then brought in with the fans, and I used to have that rapport with them, the warm up with Conrad, and sort of that just. I think sometimes when people see that, they trust you a bit more. That actually you're not just passing through, you're buying into us. They're going to be there for life. But normally players and coaches, no matter what, you're passing through. Eventually you're going to leave. But those fans are there because they want to be there, because they've been going for years with their dad, with their granddad, with their friends. They're going to be there for life. So actually treat their club with respect while you're there. And that's what I've always wanted to do. And just leave the place that people say, actually, when he was here, he was good. He was good for us. He was good for the team. Or he was just good for the club. And I've come back today and actually I've seen staff that were here when I was a player. I've seen staff that I've worked with at other clubs. And that, again, is great because I've seen them here and actually, it's really good to see them at a good club. And I know it's a good club that, they're going to be able to progress as an individual at this club and throughout their careers. I like coming back here. It's not Beaver Drive.
Yeah.
Let's get that right. No. It's not Beaver Drive. It's a little
Nothing
bit
wrong
different.
with Beaver Drive.
No, absolutely not. It's produced players, and obviously the club have still got it, which is good.
Yeah.
But I've been here twice, my third time. But I've only, when I was working at Spurs in the academy, I've only pulled in the coach, played the game.
In and out.
So it's a real honour to actually be here and see a little bit of, and have a bit of insight of what it's like.
I saw you that night. Do you remember? We met quickly, didn't we?
Yeah, so...
Because you were saying about the quality of the players at England.
Yeah.
We touched on it earlier.
Yeah, so... That's good.
Yeah, I'm sure you're always welcome back.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Always well thought of as well, Paddy.
Yeah, thank you. Cheers,
Even
guys.
by myself. I quite like
tough.
it.
Yeah. Quite like me.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for coming
Top
in.
man.
Really
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Chrissy,
Matty.
always a pleasure to see
Yeah,
you, mate.
and you, mate.
There you go.
Thank you.
There we go, guys. Chrissy Powell.